Buying an inexpensive robot mower doesn't mean you have to make big sacrifices. My name is Jamie Andrews, and this is the Mammotion Yuka Mini, the most affordable model in their lineup. The Yuka Mini comes in two versions, the 600 and the 800. The key difference is the battery. The 600 comes with a relatively small 2.4 amp hour battery, offering only 55 minutes of runtime and a maximum cutting area of 0.15 acres. The 800, which is the model I have, features a much larger 6.1 amp hour battery, rated for 155 minutes of runtime and a maximum area of 0.2 acres. If you have more than 0.2 acres, you'll need to upgrade to a higher tier model, since these are software locked to those limits. Unlike the all-wheel drive Yuka Mini I just reviewed, the Yuka Mini only powers the two rear wheels. They're rated to handle slopes up to 27 degrees. Cutting is handled by a single disc that holds 5 hardened blades, delivering a 7.5-inch cutting path. The mowing deck height is manually adjusted using the knob on the top of the mower. I have the H model, which can cut from 2 inches up to 3.5 inches. There's also an S model available, which cuts between 0.8 inches and 2.4 inches. Navigation is satellite-based, using a built-in receiver along with a separate RTK station to triangulate positioning for more precise mowing. If the mower passes under a tree or overhang, it stays on track thanks to its front-mounted binocular cameras, which also help to avoid obstacles. The Yuka Mini is IPX6 rated, so you can rinse it off top and bottom without worry. There's also an optional garage that you can purchase, which I recommend to help protect your investment. It's even capable of mowing at night thanks to a brightly mounted LED light. A top-mounted rain sensor allows the mower to return to its base when it's detected rain. Mammotion has several great videos covering the unboxing and setup process, so I'll leave links to those videos in the description. Once everything is set up, you have two options to map your yard. The first is the new AI auto mapping feature, which works well for fenced-in yards with clearly defined boundaries. That said, it can get a bit off track in more complex spaces. Fortunately, you can still manually map your yard while this AI tech continues to evolve. Speaking of AI, let's test how well the object avoidance system works. When it came to my little stuffed bear, the Yuka Mini had no trouble spotting it, and spared it from becoming a pile of fluff. As for the balls that are in your yard, whether you've got kids or dog, there's a good chance you'll find a few around. The Yuka Mini could detect those as well. But not everything was a win. Like many people, you might forget to pick up your water sprinkler, and unfortunately, the Yuka Mini wasn't able to detect mine, which could lead to some damage. No matter the mower, I always recommend clearing your yard before the mower heads out. That said, sticks can fall while the mower is running, and in that scenario, the Yuka Mini did manage to avoid the larger ones. I'm always pretty amazed at how well these small mowers perform with just a single disc and 5 blades, and the Yuka Mini is no exception. That said, there are a few things to be aware of, so let's dive into the pros and cons, starting with the pros. First up is value. The Yuka Mini is a fantastic choice if you've got a small yard and don't want to invest in a pricey full-size robot mower. What's even more impressive is that you're not giving up much in terms of features compared to the larger Yuka or even the Luba series. Thanks to its short wheelbase, the Mini weighs just 23 pounds, making it agile and easy to maneuver. It didn't get stuck once in my testing, unlike its bigger sibling, the Yuka 1000. In terms of object avoidance, the Yuka Mini actually outperformed the more expensive Luba Mini in my test. I'm not really sure why. I also appreciate that Mammotion gives you the ability to mount the RTK station to a house or other structure without needing any additional hardware. Their app is another standout. It has more customization options than any mower I've tested. Just because this is their least expensive model doesn't mean you're getting fewer features. Mammotion regularly pushes out firmware updates, and from what I've seen online, their support and included 3-year warranty is solid. As for cutting performance, the little 5-blade disc holds its own against larger models. And last but definitely not least is battery life. I consistently got well over the rated 150 minutes of mowing time, often by 40 minutes or more, and that's rare. If it's within the budget, I highly recommend springing for the 800 over the 600 model. Not only do you get longer runtime, but the higher capacity battery should also provide more torque to those motors. Now let's talk about a few drawbacks of owning the Yuka Mini, starting with some things I see mentioned a lot online. The fact that it's a satellite-based mower. Satellite navigation requires near-perfect conditions to stay precise. Just like with the Yuka Mini I reviewed recently, the Yuka Mini sometimes drifted off course and left behind narrow strips of uncut grass. In my experience, it actually struggled a bit more than the Yuka Mini, even though both use the same exact RTK station. This kind of thing is usually tied to RTK placement or signal issues, like when the mower is between tall buildings, under trees, or next to fences and walls. It's just part of the territory with satellite-guided models. And for what it's worth, wider mowers tend to hide these issues better thanks to a greater overlap ability. The better answer for smaller yards is a LiDAR-based mower, and it looks like Mammotion is toying with that one, and hopefully it will make its way to the US market very soon. Another thing to keep in mind is the Yuka Mini doesn't have a physical bumper. That means it may bump into objects from time to time without fully detecting the impact. And lastly is charging. The Yuka Mini doesn't support fast charging. While the 600 model takes about 90 minutes to recharge, the 800 model, like the one I have here, takes a hefty 230 minutes. Now it's tempting to go for the 600 model just to get faster charging times, but remember, lithium batteries have limited charge cycles. Now to wrap things up, if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know I'm a huge fan of robots, and that absolutely includes robot mowers. I actually sold my riding mower this past spring because thanks to these little machines, I just didn't need it anymore. Now sure, you're still going to need to trim around the fence lines and in tight spots, but with a robot mower, your yard can stay looking clean and sharp with minimal effort, like it was professionally cut every single time. Mammotion continues to make some of my favorite robot mowers, and while none of them are perfect, they're doing a lot of things right. If you've got a smaller yard, understand these limitations and recognize that this is still a young but fast-growing space in home tech. I think you'll be pretty happy with the Yuka Mini. If you're curious about other models, I've dropped links to those videos in the description. I hope this review was helpful, and while shooting in the Florida sun isn't exactly my favorite thing to do, I do it to help folks like you find the right mower for your needs. If it helped, consider subscribing. I also cover robot vacuums and other smart tech. And until next time, take care.